Shalom. So let me start with this. Let me start with this precept here. This is the book of Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn." So first and foremost, before going any further to this lesson, I'm going to start by giving all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash, the Bwana, to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who do well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to you, Akiam, who are pushing these truths into the four wings of the earth to make sure that Jerusalem is established here on earth again as a place of worship as it was in the days of old. So Yahweh means the name of the Heavenly Father, whom the world ignorant call God, or Yahweh, or Jehovah. His only name, which is a Hebrew name, is Yahweh. Bahasham means in the name. Yahweh Shai means the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High Power, whom the world ignorant call Jesus. His only name is Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. Rakaha Kwadash means the Holy Spirit. So I'm going to put a title of this lesson here, that the Israelites slavery and suffering fulfill the prophecy on the book of Deuteronomy 28. In the book of Deuteronomy 28, it contains the two sides. The first side, it talks about the prosperity of the nation of Israel if they would hearken unto the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandment. On the second side, it talks about the curses that will fall upon the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible if they would not hearken unto the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandment. But the Bible, but the Hebrews, the original Hebrews, there's a reason. That's why I'm saying the original Hebrews, because there's a point I will make at the end of this lesson. So the original Hebrews did not hearken unto the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandment. So the curses that were written on the book of Deuteronomy 28 fell upon them until to this present days. So those curses that were written on the book of Deuteronomy 28, those curses applies to the sons of Israel, to the true sons of Israel until now, since the time of slavery. So the Most High promised to put Jacob into the hand of his enemies. And automatically, when you are under your enemy, your life is not going to be good. You'll always lament. You'll always mourn. That's why it says in this book of Proverbs 29 and verse 2, it says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn." Israelites are mourning every day because they are in the hands of the wicked. See, when you go to this, same book, I think it is written. I forgot the precept, but it's written that the world is given unto the hand of the wicked. So the world is in the hand of the wicked. And those wicked people are the enemies of the sons of Israel, the true sons of Israel. The Edomites are the enemies of the true sons of Israel. That's why the true people of Israel are still mourning since the time of slavery. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It says, this is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It says, Therefore shalt thou save thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until we have destroyed thee. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, and from the end of the earth, as swiftly as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. You see, so Israelites served their enemies, Esau and the other nations, in nakedness and in thirst. When you look at the pictures of those slavery, those black slavery, I can say, who had a yoke of iron in their neck, they were walking in nakedness, and they were thirsty. There is something known as long distance trade here in East Africa, whereby the Arabs took slavery from Central and East Africa, to the Arab world and to the Far East. And those slaves had a yoke of iron upon them. See? And we will go to look the picture of slave market in Zanzibar, which shows the picture of slaves who had a yoke of iron on their neck. So since the time of the Assyrians and the Babylonians captivity, Jack served these other nations. But the great suffering, I can say, was that of the 16th century of the transatlantic slave trade, and also the East African slave trade. Many Jacks were taken from Central, East, and other parts of East Africa to the coast of Zanzibar, East Africa, to the Arab world and the Far East. Many Jacks were taken from Central, South, West, and Southern East Africa to the Caribbeans, in the 16th century. So let's go here. Now this is the picture which shows depict how the roots of slaves during the time of the transatlantic slave trade. The slaves were not taken only from West Africa, as it said by many people. The slaves were taken from West, Central, and even some parts of Southeast Africa. And the slaves were taken to North and South America to work there in the plantations of tobacco, coffee, cotton, mining, and the other issues, to be the servants of their enemies. It says here, slave trade from Africa to the Americans. Slave trade from Africa to the Americans, 1615 to 1860. And this shows the West Africa slave trade regions from Senegal, Sierra Leone, Congo, Cameroon, up to Angola. And these were the Israelites living in these regions of Africa, because these Israelites fled from Jerusalem during the time of the persecution of the Jews, since the 68 AD up to 70 AD. The Jews, the true Jews, were escaping the military might of the Romans. It says between 1650 and 1860, approximate 10 to 15 million enslaved people were transported from West Africa to the Americas. Most were shipped to the West Indies, Central America, and South America, and on these places that these Hebrew Israelites were sent to, until now, these are the countries these are the poorest countries on the planet Earth right now. So Israelites have been suffering since the time of slavery until this present days. One of the most third world countries are here in Africa and in South America. See, in every country that you find Israelites, 80% of them are poor. And some of them they cannot even afford their basic needs, even food, shelter, and clothes. Some of them are homeless. And these red lines, it clearly shows the major trade slave routes. So let's go this another picture here. And this clearly shows where the slaves were taken. It says the transatlantic slave trade, captives taken from Africa to the Americans and Europe. So all these places that these Israelites were taken, they went there to work as servants of their enemies. And this clearly fulfills this prophecy here on the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 48. See, most of the Israelites were taken from Sierra Leone, from Benin, from Congo, from West and Central Africa, even from Southeast Africa, even from Madagascar, to Southeast Brazil, to Chile, to Panama, to North America, to the parts of Caribbean, and even to Europe. See? Let's see this. And during the East African slave trade, most of the slaves were taken from East Africa, East and Central Africa, to the Arab world. Let me look about the East African slave trade. Yes, this one, it says, who started a slave trade in East Africa? It says, export of slaves to the Muslim world from the Indian Ocean began after Muslim, Arab, and Swahili traders won control of the Swahili coast and sea routes during the 9th century. See? So during this time of the East African slave trade, there were Jacks also who were capturing another Jacks and sell them to the Arabs. There were also Hamites who acted as the middlemen, who were selling these Israelites to the Arabs, And as it said in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 48, says they had a yoke of iron in their neck, And this clearly shows that we Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible, because there is no such history which shows us the Edomites had a yoke of iron on their neck. This world is a heaven to the Edomites. It is hell to the Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. Let's see this picture. It says the Indian Ocean slave trade. So you had these Israelites having a yoke of iron on their neck, walking in a long distance. And this man, this could be an Arab or a Hamite, who is in charge of these slaves. Let's go and read again. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. Look at these people here. They are naked. There are many pictures here showing the children of the Most High Power went into slavery and had a yoke of iron in their neck. So let's see this. Yeah, this is going to be good. So this says slave trade on Zanzibar, personal witnessed. No, so this shows how these slaves were treated by their masters. See, and this how they were treated. They were having a yoke of iron upon their neck, on their neck. No, and this clearly shows that these are the true Hebrew Israelites. No, because these curse here apply only to the Hebrew Israelites. You know, you know. Look at this. Is this not a yoke of iron on their neck, which fulfills the prophecy on the book of Deuteronomy? You know, you know. So those people who are fighting over there in Israel, they are not fighting for the land which is not theirs. That is not their land. See, that is the land of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. See, and the scattered Hebrew Israelites say that. See, this is how the slaves were treated by their masters. You know, Jacob is still suffering from that time to this very day. You know, let us go again to the same book, Deuteronomy 28, 59 and 61. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Yeah, 59 up to 61. It says, Then the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and the long continuance, and sore sickness, and long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. You know. So in these countries that the Israel there, you can find the Israelites almost in every country, especially in the third world countries where you can find many of the true Hebrew Israelites. The Israelites in these countries are suffering from many diseases since the time of slavery. The life of these Israelites in these third world countries is bitter. No, dying from starvation. You know, especially in countries like Congo, where there is civil wars. Israelites are not in rest since the time of slavery. After the end of slave trade, there comes colonization. After the end of colonization, there came the new thing which we call neo-colonialism or contemporary colonialism. So Jack is still suffering. There are many civil wars since the 1960s in countries like Congo and in some countries of West and Central Africa. Jack is not in rest. And all this happened because we went astray from the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandment. So you find many Israelites nowadays having many problems. A health problem, financial problems, even psychological problems. See. So, and all these curses fit only to the true Hebrew Israelites, who are the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans. Many Jakes are suffering from these curses. And this clearly shows that we are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. See? You see? So let us finish with this. Deuteronomy 28:64 to 69. So before going to that, let me read this first. So this is the same book of Deuteronomy 28 and 64 to 69. It says, "And it shall come to pass that as the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Bahawashai rejoiced over you to rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you, and so to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land which thou goest to possess it." So Selakia, I started with verse 63. Now verse 64. "And the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahshai shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord Yahweh Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, Would the Most High it were even, and at even thou shalt say, Would the Most High it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." See? So the Israelites are serving these other gods of the other nations since the time of slavery. And this verse 64, wood and stone represent these religions which were introduced. Christianity. This word wood represents Christianity. And stone is a representation of Islamic religion. This showing that the Israelites are deep into idol worship. Without knowing. You see? So let us go to the book of Romans 10 and 2. It says, Romans 10 and 2, it says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge." So the Israelites nowadays know that they are serving the Lord, but they do not have understanding of Him. They do not know that the Lord hates also. The Lord hates. Lord is not just love. The Christians always preaching that the Lord is love, not knowing that the Lord hates also. See? So Jake is serving Esau's system, philosophy, ideas, policies, and this clearly shows that we are still in captivity, because this earth is given unto the hand of the wicked, and the wicked is still in rulership, and the rulership of wicked soon will end, because there are many signs which show that we are in the last days of the last days, and all these curses fit only to the true Hebrew Israelites, not to those Jews, to those Jewish people who are living in the land of Israel nowadays, and those are the fake Jews, So to interpret, to have more information on this last verse here, Deuteronomy 28 and 68 says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." So the world, so Yahushai bring the Hebrew Israelites into Egypt, which the word Egypt represents slavery. Again, by the way of ships, through the ship. Let's go here and type the transatlantic Slovakia.